What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I promise more Cyber Dragon content, so here we go. Deck profile was already up. If you didn't check it out, don't worry about it. I got an updated list at the end of this video. We got 4 replays to jump on into, and then we'll drop that new list really quickly, show you guys a couple of the changes, and say some of the things that I feel should be said. And without further ado, Cyber Branded on display. Let's go. Furniture Labyrinth. So Bestial Baldrake, Lady, Big Welcome, Stovey, and Magnamut. He's going to start out draw. Standby main one, use the Stovey, get rid of the Baldrake. I feel like if you discard the Bestial, that means you either have another one or your hand is just all engine and you want it and you need it to go ahead and set the Welcome Labyrinth. Then we go Lady, Summon, and then we set the Big Welcome. So we pass turn on that, and he still has the Bestial Magnamut. Sorry. Obviously our hand works very well against this. I like replays like this where I can show different interactions and things. You might say, oh, this hand's just busted, you auto win against it, like there's nothing to learn, nothing to see. Kind of yes, no, disagree, agree all at the same time. So what I like to do is show also when I misplay or if I lose when there's stuff to be learned. So a draw phase, we draw Naxter. And there's so much we can do here. Like we could actually go like Branded Opening, discard Clockwork, summon to search, and then Clockwork, banish, discard the Naxter to search out Regulus, but we're not playing Regulus at this point in time. Spoiler alert, we do put it in eventually. We open up with Feather Duster because I want to just force, I know the Welcome Labyrinth, and he goes ahead and chains Big Welcome. And with Ash and Bell here, I assumed because he discarded the Baldrake that he potentially had another one in hand. And I was like, okay, Bestial's actually really hurt me. Bell can hit that. However, knowing he had the Welcome Labyrinth, you can't Bell Welcome. So he goes Big Welcome. I could have Ghost Belled that. Then he goes Welcome Labyrinth and I Ash it, right? He's not going to use this because there's no point when you activate normal trap, quick effect, special setting the card, with your Feather Duster, it's just going to get wiped anyway. So he goes Welcome Labyrinth, summons the Ariana, and then he's going to go ahead and get a free draw. Draws into another Stove. Yeah, Stove, that's what we're going with. And we can go ahead, Clockwork and Naxter because now they're all machines, and make a big Fortress Dragon. And then we're just going to attack there because if we go Branded Opening, discarding the Ghost Bell and summon that Bestial that we kind of assumed he had, is going to really hurt. However, could we have played it out better at all? Not really, because we still lose to that Bestial if we Ghost Bell. He draws into the Stovey, which doesn't really matter in my opinion. End phase, he's going to go into Magnamut effect. I thought hard here because you can actually Ghost Bell it. And I'm like, what does he do? Like, he can go Druid Worm and then summon Druid Worm by banishing his and then go like Link to get rid of, maybe. And I figured if he's going to do that, he can do it. But I also have the Ghost Bell that I can drop on Druid Worm if I had to. I mean, he would just do it again on his turn, but if he has to banish 2 of his just to get the Druid Worm out, I feel like I'm getting in a better position. Other things to note, like seeing that he searched the Baldrake, I'm like, okay, I just don't need to Ghost Spell that at all. Like even right here, I'm not worried about it at all. He goes Muckracker and that I'm going to go ahead and Ghost Spell because I want to stop him from doing anything. Keeping in mind too, that Clockwork Knight makes this a machine, so that also turns off the trap in here where you contribute a fiend you control. We draw the Cartasia for turn, Branded Opening, discard to go ahead and search the Aliber effect to search, imperms it, and it's in the column, which is pretty big. Battle phase, attack over. Anyway, we go ahead, attack, he has 700 left, we pass back turn, draws Ash Blossom for turn, and that's not going to do it for him. I promise to not have little delays like that again because Sword Soul I understand a lot better. This one I actually wanted to show, like, we play into Ash very, very hard by playing around Droll. like, we try to play a round draw because you branded opening in the draw phase, and then you Aliber in the draw phase. However, by playing a round draw, you have to pick your poison because obviously Ash against Branded Fusion hurts so bad. And if I opened up my playline emergency, he's going to let it go because I could be on Drytron. I search out core. I summon core. He's probably going to Ash that core. And if he doesn't, I'm in the same boat that I'm in right now. But Ash on core would probably happen. And then you branded opening and you just go like into a nice Dragoon with Imperm or D-Barrier, or probably just Barrier. You would hold the Imperm in hand as a discard. However, core effect, search out emergency, and Branded Fusion, get Ash set to pass turn. So again, by playing a round roll, we played into Ash very hard, and that's just something I wanted to point out, like, to keep in mind. It's something, especially if we go away from a droll format and Ash is being super popular again. You might be better off trying to play around Ash as opposed to playing around droll, especially game one. So at this point, he has basically nothing. He's got an Imperm, and we have an Imperm. D-Barrier is a very, very good card, especially in this matchup. Banish 2 special summon, and then we use Clockwork Knight. And this is another key point. To play around Imperm, we could have summoned the original Cyber Dragon. I was trying to net more advantage by going for hers because then we can go like Naxter. And if he did say negate the hers, I could go emergency summon Naxter or core summon core, no effect because we used one effect, and then get the board wipe that way. But I was like, okay, so if we go for hers and it works, then we get Fortress, we can search out Cyber Dragon, then we can go for emergency, discard, summon, and then summon, which he lets all go through. We're going to attack, attack, and attack, which isn't enough for a game, especially when he imperms it. So we only do 500 because Clockwork still gives it some attack. Draws Lightning Storm, goes and hits our monsters. Was kind of interesting, I guess, for why you would go for monsters, but I guess, like, I don't know. To me, this card is just really, really good. He does have a lot of generic synchros, however. So then attack, gets destroyed. Aliber can go ahead, negate to summon. Only use one effect per turn, unfortunately. Draw fusion deployment. And this is one of those times where, like, you can go... Actually can't go for Albaz because you'd summon and then use into Lubellion, who needs a discard to fusion summon. However, you could do it to clear the board, or you could go like Cartasia. You could go Cyber Dragon, make another Fortress Dragon. There's a few different routes that you can go. This card is so versatile in this deck, and I really, really like it. Another replay, this time we have against CashTierra, opens double Kaiju, enemy controller, planet, and Theosis. We're going to go ahead, summon out Dragoon. We have no way to get monsters in hand. We use one Branded Fusion. We have the other in hand. No way to get a machine engrave, so there's really no point in going for any of that. We get Kaiju on Dragoon because, of course, when they don't have Ash for fusion, they Kaiju the Dragoon. Imperm, he changed the econ to be able to keep playing. Takes the Kaiju, which is level 7. He could have even, like, Kaiju me, summon Fenrir, Kaiju on his own field, because now he's got 2, then Fenrir effect, Imperm, chain econ, because now he's got 2 level 7s for sure. Search out Scareclaw, which gives him a 3rd level 7. So there was a different play line there that he could have went for. Instead, he's going to Theosis, we Ash, and then go into Dark Armed. And here, too, he makes a mistake, because once you use the effect, you cannot attack. However, he could have went Battle Phase, attack, deal no damage. He was trying to pop attack for 3k. Doesn't work like that. But he could have attacked, then main 2, went into the same thing he's doing now, except make a Zeus. Zeus would have 1 send, and would it end up mattering? We would Branded Fusion, he can't Zeus yet. We Albion, hers effects, Cyber Dragon, and then we go ahead banish to summon out the Mirror Jade, and at that point we could force the Zeus. So if he Zeuses, it's also going to get gone, and then we can go into a Regulus. He does have Kaiju, so it doesn't matter that much. So Kaiju would go, hers would trigger. We end up winning here instead, and then he could summon Fenrir. What would you go for then? Maybe a Baron playline, because you could Fenrir effect as well, grab like Rise Heart, or you could go for Shangri-La playline. Yeah, I don't know. It would come down to whatever I draw next and some things like that, because I could also special Cyber Dragons and then summon the Cartesia. Like, I have different plays, and it really depends on what I would draw for exactly how it would play out. Build Branded Drytron. I feel like I remember that being a thing, but I don't really remember that being a thing. I saw the Branded Fusion and dumping like the Alpha, and I'm like, that's very interesting. Then Alpha hitting a Delta. It means he has no good rituals in hand, and he doesn't have a way to beta. So I don't want him to keep playing, because then he could like add Benton, Delta, hit the Benton, summon, and then, you know, continue playing that way. So we do go spell the Alpha, and it does end his turn. We go ahead and search here, grab our hers. I didn't want to like normal the hers get hit by the Mirror Jade. I mean, I could have, I guess, set the hers, but then he could still Mirror Jade. That'd be in a weird spot, I guess. And here instead, I'm like, okay, if I Kaiju him, get rid of it, and we can just go for the OTK. Normal summon the Albaz, discard the hers to fusion summon into Albion, effect, and we would normally go for Rampage there, pop back row, attack, OTK. However, and then at that point, he also has the Mirror Jade effect to wipe our Albion. We set the Branded Opening for it, just as like a way to put a body on board, and then also still get that Branded Fusion to hand, instead of just setting the Branded Fusion and potentially losing it. We do have the Nibiru as well. No point in going Clockwork, because they're all machines when they're in the field anyway. What would that do? Nothing. Then we're going to go ahead and drop the Nib on them. Nib, give them a really big token. Pass turn, Branded Opening in the end phase, discard, summon, effect, search, grab Branded Fusion, and then we can go standby main, start out with Clockwork, discard Cyber Dragon, grab Therion, summon Therion, attaching that hers just to be able to recycle it. Then we can go ahead, Branded Fusion, effect, go into a Mirror Jade, banish the token. You can banish tokens, you cannot banish tokens face down. So let's jump on into the updated deck list. Here it is for the whole world to see. Yeah, not much changed. I debated a third Albaz as well. We put the Regulus in, though. I think it's very, very important, as having so many times where like Clockwork gets negated, or in the grind game where all I would need is, you know, draw any card, which you get to do every turn. Clockwork, banish, discard, summon, and then keep playing, or potentially just win. Like I said, still on the 3 fusion, 3 opening, 3 deployment, 3 emergency. We cut 1 core down because you're still playing 9 names. So 9 names works good with Clockwork. It's enough names for the OTK via Branded, and it just does everything you need it to do still, while being as small and effective as possible. And also fusion deployment, because Cyber Dragon, fusion deployment Cyber Dragon, you have 6 ways into it with your Clockwork for your Mega Fleet, things like that. Let me know down below if you have any questions. Double Kaiju. It's a Kaiju that we easily out. That's why we play multiple. We're not playing Repair Plant because it is a brick a lot of the time, even though it can search it. I don't care about searching it. Again, it's just a Kaiju that we out easily. Extra deck, nothing changed. Side deck, we did take out the crossouts for Book of Moon, and I have absolutely no regrets about it. These are all very good cards this format. Not saying you should play them in your side deck, but try them out. They're all very, very strong cards. Again, updated deck profile, a couple quick replays, some boring talking, but thank you guys for sticking it out and watching it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And with that, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching.